Welcome to the running journey. Welcome to the running journey.
Welcome to the running journey.
Welcome
to the running journey. Running journey, yeah.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. Welcome another edition of the running journey. I'm here. I'm Charlie's brother, Rob. This is my brother, Charlie. We're talking about a race that we qualified for. We're running the New York Marathon this weekend. I've been watching on TikTok. I've been watching YouTube. It's pretty exciting. I am pumped. Charlie, are you pumped?
Yeah, I'm super pumped, super nervous at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I can barely function. That's how pumped I am.
It's exciting. This is why, it's one of the reasons why this journey has been so fun. It's like we do every couple months, you get to do a race, you get to do something that you love with like 50,000 people. You get to go to somewhere you've never really traveled to a ton. You get to see, you get to push yourself. The training is so fun. So quickly, before we get into the race, remind viewers, listeners, so we qualified for this race. Tell us about New York Marathon first, how you even get into this race.
Oh, I don't know all the ways you get in. There's multiple.
Well, it's a lottery and it's elite athletes. I think there's two ways.
No, there's actually more.
Well, the charity and the other, and the lifelong members and
volunteers.
Volunteers.
There's actually like 8 or 9 ways.
Okay, so you do know them.
I don't know.
How did we get in?
8 or 9, but there's way more than I thought. I didn't know there was that many. But the two main ways, I think, are through the lottery and just qualifying. And I think a volunteer is probably one. New York road runners are always looking for volunteers. So if they get if someone volunteers at 9 races and races at least one, I think they're automatically in as well.
The 9-in-1 program. Yeah. So here's a little thing. There's the drawing. So they have 150,000 people roughly that enter the draw. 5% are chosen. That's the lottery. They have a road runners team for kids. So that's a charity. So you're basically pay your spot, $3,000. You run with a different charity. Those are $5,000 to +$1,000. You book a tour. So you pay premium to be with one of these tours, these travel tours. They'll hold a spot for you for $10,000 or whatever. Or you run the race 15 times. You're eligible. Or you do what we did, which is you run a fast marathon.
Yeah.
What did you have to run to get in, Charlie?
2:58.
2:58. If those of you that will follow the show, you know that Charlie ran a 2:55, 54?
2:54:14.
2:54:14. That's really fast. Holy smokes. Okay, so we are getting on a plane in less than 2 days. We fly to New York. How has the training gone?
The training's gone pretty much as well as possible. The only thing is I think I could have put in a few more miles, but I'm feeling pretty fresh, so that's good.
Coach had you run less miles than you wanted to?
No, not really. So we had a long-term plan that we came up together basically after the Ironman. Wanted to take it a little easy on the running for a while, and we both agreed to kind of just focus on more like triathlons for a while. And then the first couple of months of our build-up, we took it pretty easy because I was coming off an injury, right? And then in October, I kind of said I'm feeling really good, so let's go hard. And we went. I had
last month.
Yeah, I had the second most miles I've ever had in October this year.
How many miles did you do in October?
247.
247 miles.
Yeah. So yeah, it went pretty well. I feel super fresh.
So just under 400 kilometers.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
So that's a good number of kilometers. That's like 80. That's like 100K a week. Wow. Okay. So that's very good. So now you feel good, but you wish you would have done a few more miles, you said.
Well, maybe I could have picked it up a little earlier in the training, but I mean, at the same time, it's, that's always a balancing act. So I think we pretty much nailed it. I think, so I'm not going to have a 2:54 because it's a much tougher course, but I feel in terms of fitness, so I have this metric that I use, which is basically excess beats per mile.
Tell me about excess beats per mile.
Excess beats per mile is basically your average heart rate less your resting heart rate. that it takes you per mile. So what that does is it allows you to compare a faster run.
Okay, sorry. Excess.
So you take your average heart rate, okay,
for a run.
for a run,
150, let's say.
and then you deduct your resting heart rate because the theory there, and this is just my own thing. So the theory there is
You
that
created this?
Yeah. I haven't seen this anywhere else. This is so.
We'll put it on TikTok and people will talk about Eric's party.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, probably, yeah. Um, so my heart rate. So I take my heart rate. I deduct my resting heart rate, and then what I do is I take the time it takes to run a mile, and then you multiply that by your heart rate because your heart rate is per minute, right? And then that gives you your excess heartbeats per mile.
Number of excess, how many beats it takes you above, how many beats of effort it takes you to do a mile?
Above resting. So what that does is it allows you
of effort. Let's call that of effort, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No effort is resting.
Yeah. So what that does is it allows you to compare different paces because most of the time you're not running the same pace. You're almost always running different paces. So it's hard to have a day-to-day gauge on how well you're doing, right? Like an alternative to this would be just run at the same pace and compare your heart rate, right?
Right. But you're doing a whole bunch of different races, different paces, different tempos, different stuff.
Yeah. So I'm about 40 on average, about 40 beats per mile less.
What would the total number of beats be per mile? So, okay, hold on. Let me try to guess. So if you're doing 60 minutes, call it 70. So is it like 500, 600 or something like that?
Yeah, for me, it's like a good day will be around 750. And like a really great day, like I had on my long run, I had like a close to 700.
So the lower the number, the better, means you're exerting
Yeah.
less effort to run that mile.
Yeah, exactly. So that metric is about 40 beats less per mile. Same time last year for me, average October versus October. So I'm feeling like I'm in a little bit better shape than I was.
Dude, this works. This, I don't know. Maybe someone will tell me this is crazy talk, but kind of it makes so much sense. How did you figure this out? How did you decide to do this? You're just like, yeah, I wanted to compare runs and
Yeah, just I kind of evolved it over time, but yeah, and then there's another metric that I use where if I try to factor to compare longer runs is I might add a distance coefficient, so or a time coefficient. So if it's a bit longer, then you would expect your heart rate to be a bit higher the longer you go because of heart rate drift, right? So yeah, but that's a tough one because you don't really know what
how would you measure?
you don't really know what the standard heart rate drift is, right? So it's hard to kind of
Yeah, it's different in a basement than outside.
yeah.
Okay, so this Charlie number that I'm calling it, you should call
Yeah.
it the Charlie number. So
Yeah.
beats of effort to complete a mile. So if you're doing 150 beats per minute to do a mile and your resting is 50, we'll use round numbers.
Yeah.
That's an extra 100 beats it took you for that minute. And if it took you 8 minutes to do that mile, then that's 800.
Right. But let's say you do it in 9 minutes and then your heart rate goes down by 10, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be 90, but 90 times 10. So 900 would be kind of the equivalent,
Right.
So you can
Do
compare
you
different.
find that there's a specific number, pace that
Yeah.
you're okay? I want to ask you optimizing your
Yeah.
run rate.
So it's a bit skewed because there's certain paces that you're more efficient at. So, but it's not, I think it might depend on the person. For me, it's like 8:15. I feel like
8 minutes 15 seconds per mile.
Anywhere between like 7:30 and 8:15, my efficiency is like at the max. I would say if I go faster than
Your
that,
heart rate goes to 175 or whatever.
yeah, like I mean, I can't. It's not as sustainable, I guess. And then if I go slower than that, then I'm just like kind of inefficient, right? So,
But if, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know, that's just for me, but I
But
think
there's a further calculation I think that you have to make, because if you're trying to do 1 mile, your effort, you
yeah,
probably don't
yeah,
really
that's what I'm
care about the
saying, because
number.
your first mile, your heart rate's gonna be low, right?
No, but let's say you just wanted to do 1 mile,
Yeah.
and your Charlie number, kind of, you could throw it out the window, because you can go 180 for a mile, and just, oh, but you would compare it to what you did last year. No, it would still work. It would still be
Yeah,
relevant.
the only thing is with short distances, it doesn't work as well because at the beginning, right, it takes, well, for
Yeah.
me anyways, it takes like
Yes.
5 minutes or so for my
Yeah.
heart rate to go up. Um, so it's skewed like that. So that's why I tried to do the distance adjustment, right? But
So the Charlie number really is very useful. It's only useful to compare prior efforts, correct?
well, I use it to just give me a snapshot on, am I getting fitter? It's like a big picture type of view, right?
Right. But I,
So
I wouldn't be able to just say, I'm going to do one race today, and I've never compared this, and say my
yeah.
number was 900. It wouldn't really mean much for me without having to be able to compare it to other things. Or I guess
No,
I could compare it to you.
you want to compare it to yourself, I would
Yeah.
say, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you need data, you need baseline, you need to start somewhere.
Yeah. So, like for me, I can compare October to this year compared to October last year, and I'm fairly confident am in slightly better shape, even though my heart rate sensor is a little bit. It's a different heart rate sensor, so maybe that's having an impact. But I would say I'm pretty confident that I'm in slightly better shape now
So
than I
it's
was
taking
last
you
year.
40 beats per minute less to do a mile this year than last year when you ran the 254.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on, call it 7 minutes, you're roughly that's a lot. Six
Yeah. It's a
heartbeats
big.
less per minute.
It's a big difference. So, but I don't know. Like I mean, okay. So I saved 2 minutes, 2 minute, 2.5, actually almost 3 minutes in my half marathon time, 2.5. Um, but it's just a tougher course. So it's going to be like,
Yeah. So clearly you called our marathon that we did in LA a cheater marathon because it was downhill, and you think we saved 15 minutes, I think you think,
I
right?
think at least probably
Maybe
20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, you think we saved 20 minutes. So you think we did a real time of 3:14, right?
Yeah. Somewhere around
So
there.
you think if you did like anything better than that would be an improvement, is kind of how you're seeing this.
Yeah. I feel like if I do 310, that's an improvement.
Yeah. I know that I cannot do a 310 to this week. I know
Yeah.
I know I can't do a
You're having
320.
issues, right, with being overtrained and stuff. So
Yeah. Now I have felt a lot better in the last few weeks. Like a month ago, I didn't even think I'd run this thing. Like
yeah.
I didn't even. But now I'm like, I think I'll try to do like a 3:30 or a 3:40 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll enjoy my day, and I'm not going to waste the opportunity. I might never qualify for this thing again, right? So I'm not
Yeah.
going to.
Well, either way, it'll be fun with all the
Yeah,
people.
man, I did a half marathon in Chicago last weekend
Oh, you
at
did? Oh,
at
nice.
the Buck Hunt World Championships.
Oh, you actually did a half marathon.
Yeah.
You texted me and said you did a half marathon. I assumed you just did like a half marathon training run, but you actually did a real half marathon. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
get
I
that.
went to Naperville and I did a half marathon. It was fun. But I reminded myself how fun races are. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
forget how fun they are.
races are the best.
We
Yeah.
we went to a stand-up comedy show the night before. I went to the Chicago Blackhawks game. Then we went to Second City,
Yeah.
the stand-up comedy place. And by the time we left there, we went to the bar across the street. Now I don't drink anymore, but the crew I was with, they definitely still drink.
Yeah.
And we didn't get out of there till 3:30.
Yeah.
And I got home and I was like, "Okay, where am I going? My race is at what time?" I'm like, "Okay, the race is at 7 or 6:30 start, I think it was." And I had an hour drive Uber, because
So
Chicago
you
is.
just went straight, no sleep.
No, I set my alarm and I had an hour 45 of sleep, but I was on such a high when I got to the marathon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a blast. I had so much fun by myself running this marathon. It was so
Yeah.
fun. And like, it reminded me of how fun racing is. And
Yeah.
I got excited about Chicago, about New York. Got really excited about New York. But I mean, I know I'm not going to do a great time, but I'm going to, like, it's fun. So let's talk about this. So you're training, you're feeling good. You're dialed in. I'm not so dialed in, but I'm at peace with it. I wasn't at peace with it a month ago, but I am now. Like, I know where I am, and I know I can get there, because like just the last 2 weeks, my progress has been unreal, and
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
my Charlie number is coming down for sure.
Yeah, and what the key there is to not rush it, right? Like, I mean, it's always take yourself where you're at, right?
Yeah,
And
and
eventually it'll come back, right?
I paid a price. I did 3 Ironman this summer, and now I'm just getting back, and it's fine. So let's talk about this race, this New York Marathon.
Yeah.
So obviously it's big. There's 55,000 runners, Charlie, something like that, 60,000. It's over 50.
Over 50, just over 50, I think.
Okay, just over 50,000 runners. So what's the okay, so we start in 3 different, what are they called? Corrals or
Well,
paths or
there's 5 different waves.
5 different waves.
And there's 3 different corrals.
Okay, let's start with the corrals.
3 different colors, and then within each of these colors, there's like 5 or 6 different corrals. So really the field is split into
18.
5 times 3 times 5, around 75 different groups. I mean, the corrals just, it's a continuous flow, right? But
so 75. So they're doing rough waves of like 1,000 or not quite, maybe.
Yeah, like
kind of like the Manitoba Marathon, right?
Yeah.
So it's packed. You're on a road. Okay, so the corrals are different roads. They're actually different roads, right? Residential streets.
Sorry, the colors are different roads.
Okay, the colors are different roads, and there's 5 of them or 3 of them?
3. So there's pink, blue, and I think yellow or orange.
Why would they go like red, green, blue? Anyways, none of my business.
They changed. So last year it was blue, green, and yellow, I think. So they went pink instead of green.
They're switching it up. They want to be equally proportionate for the colors. They want to be inclusive. So the colors represent different streets that we're starting on, right?
Well, so blue and orange. I think it's orange or yellow. So I don't know. I'll be wrong the whole time. I'll just go with orange. So blue and orange start on the top of Verrazano Ridge. Pink will start on the bottom.
Okay.
And then slightly different courses up to mile 3. And then at mile 3, everyone doesn't really join together, but everyone is on 4th Avenue. And but it's separated by, I think, I've never been there. I've just seen it. Like, it's separated by boulevards. So pink will be on the right, blue in the middle, and orange on the left.
You have the right colors, for the record. I just Googled it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So you do that for the first 3 miles?
Yeah, and there's a pseudo connection where everyone's going to be running on the same street, but separated by boulevards up to mile 8. And then mile 8, there's a slight left, I believe, onto, I forget the name of the street, and then a right onto Lafayette. And at that street, then everyone combines into one group. And seems like it could be a place where it could get hectic. But
at mile 8.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that I'm kind of more into sparse territory there, running hopefully pretty fast at 3:10, where it's going to be a little bit sparser.
Yeah. Now, so the starts for the corrals, okay, the waves and so the waves, it's just evenly split, I would imagine. The corrals is based on your time?
Yeah, both. Sorry, I think it's somewhat evenly split, but I think they put the faster runners in the earlier waves.
Okay.
And then the corrals go in order of your expected finish time. So it'll be like but they'll split it up evenly between the 3 colors, right?
Right. So anyone who's doing a 3-hour marathon, they'll take them and they'll put them in corral, pink, orange, blue, and then 305, 310, 315, 320, all the way behind, based on your projected time. And you might be in wave. So what color are you?
So I'm pink.
Okay. Which is random.
I looked yours up as well. So I'm pink. So that means I'm going to be going under the Verrazano, I'll be on the Verrazano Bridge, but I'll be on the covered part. Like, I won't be right on top. And I am Corral A. Whatever, who cares? Corral A of pink of wave 1.
So you're among the first to start.
Yeah, so start like right at 9:10, or maybe a few minutes after, but it'll be pretty close. And you You are in blue, Corral B. So you're
Okay, because I'm a
slightly,
minute and a half behind you, so I'm
I
like the
guess
bell
that's
curve
I guess
distribution.
that's how they, but I think the order is blue, orange, pink, like the way they kind of distributed it. Like it's all spread out, but yeah.
But you'll be in the first few thousand that are starting of the 50,000.
Yeah, maybe the first 5,000, you know.
Yeah,
So
first 5,000. So at least you're not dealing with 45,000 people.
yeah, so I'll be lucky. I'll have no problem getting hydration. Hopefully, I still suck at picking up a cup. Yeah, so that's good.
So yeah, there will be people that qualified in 3 hours at Boston or whatever that in theory are a little faster than us, right?
Yeah, there's going to be people faster behind us for sure.
So they're gonna.
Like
Well, for me,
there's always a range, right? So suppose you qualified at 310 and you're a 25-year-old and you just decided to start training like crazy, right? You're going to be faster than 310.
but even just the race is
Yeah.
like a 254 in San Bernardino is not
Yeah, and that too. But I mean, even if it wasn't that, there'd still be people faster behind you, right?
right. But I mean, the odd person that passes you is not the end of the world. They're gonna have their own issues. The ones that have like the ones that are starting behind us and have to pass a ton of people.
Yeah.
Like if you qualified at a very tough race and you have to, that's a pain. That's a pain in the ass. I had to do that in Naperville. I ended up doing that 141, I think.
Nice.
It was like, but I had like I got there a little late, as I always do, and they kind of said like I could see the pacers for like 145, and they were like miles ahead, not miles. They were hundreds of yards ahead of me, and I was just like way in the back, and I was like, well, this is gonna suck, and it's like one road wide, and it took forever to thin out. That's a decently big marathon, actually. So I was thinking of New York the whole time. I was like, oh my god, this is
Yeah,
gonna be.
I don't really like going with pacers because I got my own strategy and like the half marathon I did where I PR'd a couple weeks ago. So first mile, I'm like really trying to take it easy, like super easy. And I see the 135 is way ahead of me. So I'm like, he's going way too fast. Like the pacer was actually going too fast. And then, so I eventually passed him. And then the 130 was doing a better job, I believe. But this time I passed him at mile 2 or mile 3 compared to last
The 130.
Yeah, I passed him
Okay,
at
we passed him on mile 13 last,
yeah, like right at the end. Last year we passed him right at the end. This time I passed him like mile 3. So it was kind of a different feeling. I was like questioning myself though. I'm like, do I have it? Am I really doing this? Like, you know, but I just went,
Have you ever not had it? Yeah, you have. You've gone through races like that where you've thought you had something and you didn't have it and you had to pull back or
yeah, that's happened, but
yeah.
rarely. It's happened more when I think the more experience
Prior
I
to
get,
this wave of training, like 5 years ago.
yeah, I think the more experience I get, the better I get at that. Like, I mean, I think sometimes you have to be on the edge a little bit. Like maybe in my triathlons, that's happened where I've gone too hard. But it's tough. Yeah. But yeah, it was like a dream world. Like I was like, am I really doing this pace? Anyways.
And you finished 120.
127, just over 127.
Nice.
Had I not I struggled a little bit at the end with my my hamstrings, but I think I could have pushed even harder, but it was really good. Yeah.
So for me, I had my 141, just for those who care. I pulled up my phone. I had a 11-mile jog that morning.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I just did the jog.
Oh, you just jogged it. Yeah, of course.
I did it at the pace that he was asking me, except the last kind of 5 miles, it said like 4:30 or something, and I did like 4:10 or 4:20. I felt
so
good.
He makes you jog that fast.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on the pace. Hold on.
Because I would normally never jog that fast, like on an easy run.
I'm trying to think what the pace was for that one.
Because that's like 730 miles, I believe.
Hold on. I could be wrong. Sometimes I tend to be wrong on these things. My 13, yeah, here it is. Wednesday, Tuesday, Saturday. Yeah, 141 I did. What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to do warm-up mile at 9:20, then 6 miles at 8:05,
Okay.
And then fast finished 3 miles at 6:44 to 7:35.
Yeah, so in total, it's about that,
I
right?
stretched the fast finish for 5 miles because I
Yeah.
added, and I did it at the low end of the range. I did it at 6. I did them all
Yeah.
at the low end.
So when we talked about that race, when I talked to my coach about that race, he told me just go start off at your marathon pace for the first 10 miles and see how you feel and then speed up at the end if you want. I was like, yeah. I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm just gonna go. Like I felt really good and was like,
Yeah, that would have been 137, right? Or no, you're using
my
310.
goal was 315 at that time. So
Yeah,
it would have
now you're
been
using 310 though.
yeah, 310. So it would have been like 725 a mile, and I ended up doing like 640s, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, but I knew like I felt so good, I knew I was just gonna go for it. So
Yeah, at the end of my race there, when I was doing my 640s or whatever, I was like, I know I could have done another 5-10 miles at that pace. Like I felt good. Like I had the easy 7-mile warm up, so it was like, so I only had 5 miles.
so I mean, okay, well, so it means you can go faster, I would
Yeah,
say.
I think like 325 or something, or
No, you can do 310,
no,
maybe.
I'm not in the shape I was. I know I'm not in the shape I was last year. Like I know
Sorry, but
that.
you said you did the 640s, like no problem.
I mean, no problem. Yeah, like it was 5 miles, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was no
but
problem.
I mean, so 310 is only 715. It's way slower.
Yeah, but it's a lot more miles. I
Okay.
felt
Yeah.
good at the end. I felt good. I was like, I kept going. I could have kept going, but
I
we had to
kind of feel
rush.
like so you don't wanna run it with me then, is what you're saying? Like, I
Well,
feel
we're
like
not even in like we're. I
we can
I don't
talk
know.
about it.
I've been internally debating this because here's my debate. Okay,
Like, if
do
you're
I?
doing 640s that easy, I mean, you're pretty close.
But like, what benefit do I gain? I wish there was a way I could know for sure. I wish maybe I'll look at my Charlie number on my jogs this week and see what they look like. But if I knew that, like my best possible time, if I went 100% effort and I nailed it, was a 320, then I wouldn't run a 320 because there's no benefit for me running a 320 and then
Yeah.
losing another month after, and
Yeah,
then
no, I understand that.
then I would just run a 330 and 335, 340 and have a good day instead and not be not be. But if I thought I could actually do like a 310, then I would try to do a 310 and I'd push as hard as I could, but I don't think it's possible for me to do a 310.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could pace me for the first 13 miles if
But
you
we're
want.
going to be in different corrals and different
Yeah, but
ways. And
if we plan it, we should be able to.
okay, we just cheat. You start in the different corral. No,
I
they
don't think that's possible. I
okay.
don't know.
Okay, they take it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And I had to rush after the marathon because we had to rush to get to the Bears game.
Oh, you went to the Bears game.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was crazy because I'm like, "Hey guys, my marathon's at 6:30, 8:30 hour drive. I'll be back by 9:30." And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna be gone already. We're gonna be at the tailgating.
Meet
So
you
you'll have
there.
to meet us there." So then I'm texting on the way back. "Hey guys, where do I go? Don't forget my bag," because I'd left my bag in the door. I walk into the Airbnb.
They're
There's
still all
9
there.
guys. Not one person was up. Not
Yeah.
one person was up yet. And I'd gone and I'd done a half marathon and come back. And so I'm like waking people up. I was like, we're gonna miss tailgating if we don't leave now. So like took like an hour to wake people up. We barely made it in time for kickoff. Like, oh, obviously by the time everyone got, and then we had an RV and we drove back. It was cool. I finished 49th in the World Buck Hunter Championship. I didn't have a good tournament, but I had some fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so New York, we got an Airbnb downtown. Claude, my dad, is coming. Your wife, Cheryl, is coming. Ivan, my social media guy, is coming. So we're going to have a good time. I want to watch some, I want to go to stand up comedy clubs. That's what I want to do.
Sounds good.
I've been,
How are we getting from the airport to? Do we need to book anything there?
airport
From
to,
the airport to the Airbnb?
what are you, Claude? You take an Uber? Take a
Okay.
cab?
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
Are we on the same flight?
Yeah, we're all in the same flight. I
I don't
mean,
think Claude and Ivan are.
me, you, and Cheryl. Yep.
Me and Cheryl on the same flight. Okay, yeah, we'll just take an Uber.
Okay.
I'm not bringing anything. Are you bringing anything?
No,
Just your carry-on, like.
I'm bringing one bag. It'll
Yeah.
have 2 pairs of Alpha Flies in there and
How come 2?
one for the warm-up run the day before.
You don't want to use too many miles on the 3-mile run on the day before. You
Yeah,
don't want to.
exactly.
You don't
I
want to
wanna
wear down the
save
shoe.
I
You
gotta
want to save the shoe.
save it for the race,
You wanna
yeah,
save
but I
it for
want
the
it to be
race.
the same model so it feels the same.
Okay. Okay, so you're feeling good. So if you had to predict your time for Chicago, which I know it's not fun to do, but we're putting it out there. This is what we do. We put stuff out there. You think 309 is doable? 305?
309.59.
309.59. Okay. I'll say I'm gonna do a 330. Unless I feel really good in my next couple of jogs, and then I decide to push and I do like a 317 or 18 or something like
Now
that.
I feel like there's all this added pressure. Usually, when people ask me, I say like 20 minutes more.
I know, yeah. You got. Well,
But that
hopefully,
was an honest one.
I honestly, I would bet the under if I were betting on you, just based on your fitness right now. If 40 beats, I feel like that's a lot per mile.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what we got coming up. We'll try to do something from New York, maybe before or after. Try to do something live or before or after. But I definitely want to look at this Charlie number some more. I'm going to look at my numbers, and we should definitely do. We should bring someone on here. First off, we should like trademark this and whatever, and then we should bring like an expert in physiology and have him dissect this and tell us you're wrong and why. I want to know why, and if he believes it's a valuable measuring stick. I think it
Well, I
is.
think there'd definitely be some people that know more about this could probably tweak it, but the same concept could be applied. Like, I mean, I know like in Training Peaks, there's that efficiency number, but to me that's not really because it doesn't take into account that that you have a resting heart rate, right? Like,
Did you Google this? Has nobody like? Did you try to see if anyone's ever written on this?
no, I didn't Google it. I just did it for myself. So
I remember there was a time when I remember there was a day I came to the office and I did like 30 miles or something on a treadmill, and like my heart rate, it was slow. It was like whatever it was, but I remember my heart rate average was like, I was in awesome shape back then, like 136 or something.
yeah.
And I remember just thinking, holy shit, like that. I feel like that would have been my optimal Charlie number, that period
Well,
of time.
I would say probably in June you were up there.
Okay, yeah, when I did run with Rob every day, and it was like,
Well, I don't know when you did your yeah. I think maybe or somewhere around there anyways, yeah.
yeah. But the good news is like that was only 4 or 5 months ago, and it's not like I've been drinking and partying and eating. Like I've been training. I just, so I'll be able to get it back real quick, is what I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're off to New York. We leave in less than 48 hours. You're gonna wish us well, Charlie. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, good luck to anyone else who's running it, and good luck,
Shoot us a
Rob.
message. Let us know if you're running it. Look for us. Oh, one more thing. I'm participating in the Parade of Nations.
Oh yeah, one more thing. We should
Oh.
do a group run if you want to talk, or if you're interested in that at all.
When?
When we're in New York sometime. I don't know.
Like a group run with random people?
Yeah.
I'll put on my TikTok and see who comes.
No. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. Like, you don't have any followers, do you?
I have 2,200 followers.
Okay. Sorry. So you're the Canada's representative. Is that correct?
I'm one of, I don't know how many they have, but I watched the parade from last year and it looked like they had about 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to wear I think I'm wearing my leotard, my one piece, my Canada one piece.
Perfect.
Or something that looks very Canada-ish, and I'm going to represent.
Cool.
That's on Friday night.
Okay. We got to do some planning a little bit, what we're going to do.
It's crazy how I've not thought about this race, or like you've thought about the bridges and the thing and the
I know the course like it's the back of my hand, pretty much.
I didn't even know the waves and everything I've learned about this race. I've learned from you. Everything I've learned. So it's kind of like my MO. I go into races totally unprepared, and
I give you the brief. I give you the briefing.
Yeah, I take all my information at the buzzer, and I just
Yeah.
gives me less to stress out about. I know I gotta wear Alpha Flies, and I know I gotta go to Staten Island or whatever. I gotta go at 4 a.m. or no, it's not an early start.
5:30. According to we've got the 5:30 a.m. Staten Island ferry, and from everything I've read is show up on time.
Okay, 5:30. And what time is the race?
9:10.
No, man. It feels like that's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
But
apparently you're waiting. Because there's security. There's all these different places where you wait in line. There's all these bottlenecks, right, that delay you. You don't want to be stressed about not making it to the race, I guess. So recommendation.
I'll follow your recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're overstressed, but I'll follow your recommendation.
Well, maybe we push it to 6. There's a Staten Island ferry every half hour. So
okay, whatever you tell me to do, I'll go and I'll follow you. But I'm glad you're there, and I'm glad you've done the research, and I'm glad you've done. Yes, we should do a training run. Where do you want to do, like Central Park kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down. Like on the Saturday.
Well, I'm gonna do an easy one on Friday, and then a Saturday I'm gonna do a short one too. Yeah. So whatever in the morning Saturday if you want.
Just got an email that came in now, just now. This guy that did Run with Rob with me, and I was talking about Ironman.
Yeah.
66 minutes, 30-second, 3.8K swim. Just did it. That's pretty fast.
66 minute, 3.8K swim.
Yeah, he said thanks for being an inspiration.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a nice time.
That's a very good time.
Yeah, that's gonna okay. So yeah. Anyways, okay. Ironman next year, November. Let's do it.
November? I thought you were doing Lake Placid.
No, Lake Placid's too early.
Okay, November next year.
I want to train for it this time.
You don't want to just wing an Ironman?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I trained lots last time, but I feel like I want to really train this time.
November in San Diego or California or wherever.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. But...
Okay, to be determined. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Check us out wherever you listen to your podcast. We will see you in the next video. Wish us luck in New York. Let's go, baby. Let's go.